What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Busy Life Podcast. My name is Julie. I'll be your host today. And today we are talking about what I think is hands down one of the most important topics that there is. And we're going to make today's episode short because I want this to be the kind of episode that no matter what you have going on in your life, you have no excuse for not being able to listen to this one. I've always been pretty mindful and conscious about my episode lengths. I purposefully try to not make them too long because I want them to be things that we can fit into our lives. And this one is almost just one of the, hands down, one of the most important episodes we'll have ever done. I I know that there's been so many episodes that we've done and so many topics that we've covered that are extremely important, but I really feel in my gut like this one is going to hit a lot of you. And this one is something that a lot of you need to hear. And I know this just through passing conversations, through what I've been feeling myself, and I know that you need it. So let me explain to you where this fire inside of me today is coming from. Right now it is March. We're in the middle of March, and it's the year is 2024. In case we listen to this at another point in time, and the weather is finally getting nicer. Now you might be like, "Are you kidding me? It's that important that we're talking about the weather?" But I'm so serious because I made a realization today. I, like many people, suffer from seasonal depression. And if you don't know what that is, honestly, the acronym is SAD. It's seasonal affective disorder. And that means that your mood, your energy, everything about you is affected by the energy and by the season that you're in right now. And not like a happy season, a sad season, like quite literally if it's fall, if it's winter, if it's dark outside, if it's getting dark earlier in the day, if it's colder, those things affect you and they affect our bodies in so many ways. I mean, they affect our mood, they affect our happiness, they affect our energy, they affect our relationships, they affect so much about us, even to the point where they can make us so stressed that we start to gain weight. It's a mess. It's a whole nightmare. So, seasonal depression season, hopefully for you, is over if you have winter and colder month seasonal depression. Because I actually learned that some people feel a certain type of way about the warmer weather. But for me, the shorter days, the colder weather, the always being cooped up inside, that is not good for me. I don't hate it. I love some quality time with my family, and I love being, I don't want to say I love being inside, but like I love being with them. And if that has to be done inside, I will do it. But I am a girl who loves being outside. I love walks in nature. I love going on the beach. I love being outside, especially when it's a nice day. And today's weather is sunny and 75. So it is probably the most perfect weather in so many people's eyes. And it just had me thinking that was something I had no control over. I do not have control over what the weather is today. That's Mother Nature's job, not Julie's job. But what I do have control over to an extent is how my body responds to the weather. And it made me realize how many people are probably feeling the exact same way as me. They are probably feeling, "Oh my god, guys, the seasonal depression, it's gone. I'm happy again. I want to go outside. I want to go for walks. You know what? I don't want to just quickly let my dog pee. I want to take him all the way around the block. I want to be outside. You know what? I could have drove to the restaurant, but I'm going to walk to the restaurant because it's so nice outside." I know there's a lot of us feeling that. And again, it got me thinking, if seasonal depression is something that we feel like we can't control, yet it so heavily impacts our mental health. Because if you live in a place like I do, it's cold at least 3, 4 months of the year. So, what am I just gonna sit here and just watch as it's cold outside? No, I have to do something important. I have to take my power back. I have to decide and commit to living the life I want to live no matter what the weather is. So, yes, sunny days and beautiful weather bring on this unexplainable energy that is just unmatched and so positive and happy, and everyone is thriving because it's a beautiful day outside. La, la, la. But we don't live in that world 24/7. We don't. And there are many people that suffer from things like seasonal depression or seasonal anxiety, even if it has nothing to do with the weather. There's just maybe different seasons of their life that bring on different things. For some people, it's the holidays. The holidays can bring on so much stress and so much pressure and reminding us of things that we just don't want to talk about. But again, when we are presented with things in life that are not in our control, we have to ask ourselves a question. How can we take our power back? Because I want you to know this. This is your life, right? You wake up and who do you see in the mirror? You see you. So you do get to decide how you live your day. Yes, I fully believe in divine timing and fate and all of that, but I do think that we still get to decide how we handle certain things. Yes, there will be things that happen in life that are so unexplainably hard or that just make us so happy or sad or whatever the emotion is. And we are allowed and we need to feel those emotions, but we then get to decide what we do about it. The famous question on the Busy Life podcast: what are we going to do about it? So now that it's sunny outside, it's beautiful. I'm literally sitting in my office that I just cleaned, and I'm so happy with the way it looks. It's like my own little office studio. And my cup is so full. I am feeling amazing. And I have to think to myself, okay, a lot of the times we often struggle with, oh, but I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this when we're in a not so great place. But we have to remember during the times that we are in a great place, what is going on around us? What did we do? Who are we with? How did we get here? How can we bring these parts of our lives to the moments that are harder? Because we know they come, right? Life ebbs and flows and things can happen at the same time. You can be happy and sad. You can have just gotten a promotion, but also just got a flat tire. You can have gotten your degree, but also just found out that you have strep. I mean, you can have a lot of things happen at the same time. And we have to think, how can I savor these moments? Like when the sun is out, when it's sunny, when it's a beautiful day, and apply them to the rest of our lives. Because just because it's a sunny day today doesn't mean, oh, okay, problems are gone. Guys, life is great. Nothing's wrong. We can move on, the end. No. I hate to bring us down on this high, but we live in a world where we have hard things happen. And we're supposed to, because we're supposed to grow, and nothing is perfect, and it's fine because we always get through it. But I want you to think for a minute. What are you doing right now? What is happening right now? And again, who are you with? Where are you? How are you feeling? Why are you feeling this good? And how can you bring it with you the next time you're not? If you're on the total opposite end of the spectrum and you're listening to this and you're like, Julie, I wanted this episode to be advice because I don't know. Right now, I am struggling. Right now, I am going through seasonal depression. Right now, I am going through just my day-to-day anxiety. Right now, I am blah, 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 blah. That's fine too, because I also want this episode to be something you come back to when you forget. If you are going through a whole pile of baloney right now, I want you to think, when was the last time I was actually happy? And for some of you guys, there's no judgment as to how long ago that was. For me, I think I am my happiest when I'm with my family, when I'm with my husband, when I'm with my dogs, when it's a beautiful day outside, when I've got my favorite songs playing, when I am enjoying the weather, when as you can tell, I'm an outdoorsy girl. When I'm moving my body, when I've taken care of myself, when I've asked myself what I need. And those are things that I can bring with me, things that I can remember. The day, like a specific day that's coming to my mind right now, is my wedding. I was my most happiest at my wedding because I felt beautiful. I was marrying my husband, and it was, he's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. I was surrounded by my family and my friends, and it was on the water. So it was a beautiful day. It was all the things I love combined. It was like a gift sent from the heavens. But I know I can't relive that day again. So what can I bring from it for the next time that I'm not feeling that high? Well, I remember that I was with my family, so I can call them. I remember I was surrounded by all my friends that I love. I can shoot them a text. Hey, I'm struggling today. Would love to just hear how you're doing to take my mind off of things. I got myself all dolled up, I put makeup on. I was wearing a beautiful dress. So you know what? Even if I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to put some makeup on to make me feel good and take a selfie, because why not? There's so many things. Guys, we have power within us, and we need to be empowered to remember that. We live in a world driven by so many external motivators that we forget what it's like to think within us. I mean, we live in a world where things can be delivered overnight. Happiness sometimes is not delivered overnight. It's not. But you can give yourself a moment. You can stop for a second and take your power back. And I feel like I've learned this lesson over and over and over again, just even in these past, I would say 8 to 10 months. So this episode is for you. It is for the people who are just so thankful for where they are and they don't want to forget this moment. It's for the people who are struggling and who have forgotten what it feels like to be happy, to be calm, to be present, to be content. And it's for the people who feel lost, who don't know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Some days are great, some days are meh. Anybody anywhere in that spectrum I just mentioned, this episode is for you, because no matter what happens, there's going to be times that you need to remember who you are and how to take your power back, whether it's from your own anxiety or from something else in the world. Maybe there's somebody at work who doesn't believe in you. Maybe there's somebody in your home life who doesn't believe in you and tries to knock you down. Maybe you beat yourself up, which is a whole other thing that we got to talk about. But maybe you do. You look in the mirror and you're like, ugh, that stops today. So what I did, I kind of went through many different articles, many different blogs from very well-respected authors and writers that gave all these tips and tricks for what they've been doing to reclaim their power, take their power back, relive their lives, all those things when it comes to empowering themselves. And I made my own list based on the ones that I believe the most in, based on my experiences and the things that I've gone through in life. And I want to unpack that list with you guys. And then I want you to really, really think, what are you doing now that you can take with you that's making you feel like a better person, making you feel like you're living your authentic life? And then what do you need to change? So as I go through these, I want you know what? I want you to write them down. If you are not driving, or maybe you're going for a run or whatever, that's fine. Come back to this. But if you are like sitting at home, or you have a pen with you, or you've got your phone, you can type it in your notes, I do want you to write this down. And I want you to come back to it. And I want you to make the title of this notes in your phone, take your power back. And then number one is going to be the thing you want to keep. And number two is going to be the thing you want to change. So as we're writing this, I want you to think about them. And then when we get to the end, I'm going to reflect on it again. I want you to think about what you're keeping and what you're changing. And you are going to have to apply it. So let's get right into it. I'm going to give you guys 5 different things that I have found, again, based on many different articles that I've read, based on my own little bits of research I've done, that I truly, truly believe are the best ways to take your power back. And my first one is probably no surprise to you guys, but you need to make self-care a priority. That is hands down number one, because the only one coming to take care of you is you. When you look in the mirror, you see you. When you write your name down on a piece of paper, that is your name. You are responsible for yourself, which means you need to take care of yourself. If you feel like you could be doing better in this area, then this needs to be the thing you change on your list. You need to start doing the things that make you feel empowered, the things that send you a message to your brain that says, I am worthy. I can do this. I matter, and I need to stop neglecting myself. And I say that word need because it is a necessity. If you don't take care of yourself, you will never be able to live the life you want to live. And you cannot rely on your husband or your partner or your friend or anybody else, because it is your responsibility. Your self-care is your responsibility. And I'm starting off a little harsh because there is a reason this is number one. Okay? Number one is make your self-care a priority. Take care of all aspects of yourself, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, all of it. Because when you start to take care of one, the rest is going to ask for it too. And I'm not saying it to be this crazy long to-do list. That's not what I want it to be. I just want you to do one thing for yourself, whether it's taking a walk, drinking more water, less time on the phone, more time with the people you love, and you will notice little by little, you like it and you need it and you want it. And then you'll do more and then a little bit more and a little bit more. And if you can just do one thing better each day, there's a whole 1% rule, one thing better, just one. You will notice, and more parts of your life will positively change, and you will be so damn thankful that you started when you did. So number one is self-care. Make your self-care a priority and make it the first priority. You can't take care of your kids if you haven't taken care of yourself. The second one I think is also a pretty obvious one, but we often need to hear this a lot because I think a lot of us pretend that we live this kind of life, but we really don't. Number two is stop caring what other people think about you. Seriously, are you living a life to please other people, or are you living it to please yourself? If you want to do something, but the people around you don't, oh wow, go do it. Honor your own needs and have the courage to do the things that you want to do, even if it means you need to do them alone. Also, have the courage to stand up for yourself. If other people are coming at you and nagging at you and bullying you or blaming you or whatever negative word you want to use, you got to stop thinking about what they think and stop trying to please them and take care of yourself. Stand up for yourself. Be your own advocate, because at the end of the day, your thoughts matter the most, not theirs. You don't live with their thoughts. They may live in your head rent-free, but that is your responsibility, and that is how you are going to take your power back, is you are going to stop giving a damn about what other people think of you and start giving a damn about what you think of you. When you wake up in the morning, I'm telling you, that mirror better be your best friend by the end of this episode. When you look in the mirror, you need to make sure that you are working 100% for the person you see. And that person is you, which takes us right back to self-care tip number one, or to taking your power back tip number one, which is self-care. See, that's how damn important it is. So take care of yourself and stop giving a damn about what other people think. The third thing that I think is the best way to take your power back is to practice more direct communication with yourself and with others. Now, when I say with yourself, I mean keeping your promises to yourself. If you promised yourself and you were thinking to yourself, okay, I'm not going to have sugar today. I'm not going to have sugar today. I can have some tomorrow, but I don't want any today. I haven't been feeling good. My stomach's hurting. You need to not have that sugar then. And you need to keep that promise to yourself. If you told other people, hey, I'm gonna come help you with that project later, but you didn't get to it, well, when they say, well, you said you were gonna help me. Oh, well, like I meant like later, or I meant like through the phone, or I meant like this, I meant like that. No, your words have a lot of meaning, and people remember the things you said and the things you did. I know a lot of people say out there that they remember more how people made you feel than what they said about you, but in the current moment, they do remember the things you said. So your words need to have power, they need to resonate, and they need to make other people understand what you are communicating to them, no matter what it is. And then later in life, they will remember how you made them feel. Because when you're the kind of person who communicates directly, who keeps their promises, who is fluid with their communication, they will have positive things to say about you. Even though we shouldn't give a damn what they think, it is important to make sure that we are keeping our word, we are being direct, and that we need to make sure that we feel good about the things we say, about our needs, about our desires. How we communicate with other people is a reflection of how we communicate with ourselves. So that's number 3. Be more direct with your communication. The other one I want to say, number 4, is do not be afraid to be yourself. Do not. There is so many times that I feel like, and it wasn't even just about what other people thought, it was more about what I thought about myself, which is why I made this a separate one, because I feel like the key to taking your power back is living your life authentically. And that is so broad, and a lot of people don't know where to start. So when I say don't be afraid to be yourself, I mean quite literally, if you are somebody who likes to dance, go sign up for a dance class. If you are somebody who likes to talk like me, go start a podcast. If you are somebody who likes to draw and design, go out there and start designing and creating canvases for the world to see. I mean, start doing the things that you actually like. And no, it's not about what other people think. It's about what you think. At the end of the day, all of this is going to come up to, what do you think about yourself? How do you take care of yourself? How do you hold yourself? Because you are the one who should matter the most to you. And when you know you've put in the work and you know you've put in the effort, the rest really does not matter. It really doesn't. So let your light shine, follow your dreams, do the damn thing that you like to do, because nobody else is going to be upset if you don't do it other than you. And the last thing I want to say, which I know is kind of, it's not a fun topic. We'll put it that way. I do think finances have a play in this. Maybe if we're talking about work, maybe not necessarily, but you never know. I think a great way to feel empowered in your life is to also not be afraid of money. I think when you can be financially savvy and you know how to maneuver your life and how to get the things and earn the things you want, it kind of makes you, it just makes you feel like a boss. Managing your household or managing a business or developing a financial plan. It's empowering and it's liberating, and knowing what you have in the bank is like knowing your worth. I know what I need, I know what I want, I know what I have to get. It's like what a boss babe does. You know how to take care of yourself. You know what you need. And at the end of the day, it's a great practice that we all need to do, just like number 1, which is self-care. And I truly believe when you can do all 5 of these things, maybe not all at once, because that is not what I'm asking you to do, but when you pick one and you commit to it, you're going to want to talk about the other 4. And then you're going to want to add in another one. And then maybe you find something else is even more important, like paying attention to your strengths or realizing that you've been settling this whole time. There's so many things that I found. I have a very large list that one day I'd love to share with you guys, but I really wanted to commit it to the top 5 because I told you guys I don't want this episode to be a crazy long one, because I want this to be one that reaches you all. It's the kind of episode where it's like, I'm short on time, but I needed to hear this. And it seriously is going to be the best thing I think that you've heard today, because you are in charge of your life. Even if it feels like somebody else's, even if you feel this pull from people who are not helping you, or people who don't trust you, or people who think that you're wrong or try to bully you, whatever it is, you have to take your power back. Maybe you feel like, oh, but I used to do this and I used to be like that and I used to live this life and I used to. No, take your power back. How can you make that past event, person, thing smaller and make yourself bigger? Make your mindset more important than the way that that mindset was. Make your current mindset the flowers that you are watering and taking care of, rather than the dead ones that should be in the trash that we should honestly stop talking about. That is a skill that I think no matter what we have in life, we forget it. And the fact that this is a lesson that I've had to keep relearning over these last 8 to 10 months tells me that even I forgot this. And I am somebody that I feel like I take such accountability into my own actions and to what I say and what I do. And the fact that I haven't been learning this lesson the way I wanted to taught me that it was time to come on here and talk about it. And it was time for me to even kick my own booty into gear and remember these things myself. Because yes, maybe I'm doing number 1 and number 2, but I really needed to get a hold of number 3, or I really needed to start focusing on number 4, because we're not perfect. We're not. We will always have things that come up in life that we forget who we are, and we forget the power that we have, and we forget that we are here to live our life and to reclaim what is ours. And I wanted this to be that little moment where, like, the friend, you call the friend and you're upset, and then the friend comes over and like shakes you, and it is like, get it together. That's what I wanted this to be. I wanted this to be that conversation that you could have in the back of your mind. You can save this episode, send it to a friend, whoever you know needs this. Maybe you were like, I need to hear this every Monday because I've got stuff going on. Please do. Please do. And it's just so important, guys. So important that you remember who you are. You remember this tool and use this tool constantly to take your power back. Because when you do that, you win. And it doesn't have to be a competition against you and the other person, but you win your negative thoughts over. You win against your negative self that is trying to beat you up and beat you down. You win in the battle against depression or against anxiety or against fear, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be the person in front of you. You win in the sense that you proved to yourself that you mattered. Take your power back. Use these 5 tips that I've accumulated and put them into a plan of action. So before I go, I want you to think, remember what was number 1 and what was number 2. Number 1 on your take your power back notes. Number 1 is the thing you're going to keep. What have you been doing that you're going to keep doing in your life because it's working? And every time it works, you are proud and you are empowered and you feel amazing and you are just living your best life doing this thing. For me, it is self-care. I do a lot of self-care in various different ways, and I am very proud of the fact that I have been super consistent with going to the gym, with taking care of my skin. Now, even with taking care of my gut health, with, being mindful of the food I eat, I'm very proud to say that no matter what bumps come up with that, I will always fall back and prove to myself that this is an important goal for me. And the one that I'm going to worry about, or maybe not worry about, we don't want to say that. The one I'm going to change and work on is number 2. Stop caring about what other people think. If somebody doesn't like my plan, it doesn't matter because it's not their plan, it's mine. If somebody doesn't like something I did, again, not their problem. And honestly, I don't care. We have to start saying those things out loud because we matter. And this is our life we're talking about, not theirs. They are in charge for their life, and they are in charge of the choices they make. And they are the ones who need to worry about themselves, just like you have to worry about you. Not everybody in this world is going to be your best friend, and that's okay. You don't want them to be. You want the people who matter the most to you, and you want those people to be your cheerleaders, and you do not want to let them go. But in order to do that, you need to stop worrying about what the rest of them think of you. That's how I'm going to take my power back. And you know what? There's going to be probably a different phase in my life where now that's a pretty solid one. And maybe now I want to work on my finances. Maybe now the thing I'm going to start changing is number 5 because I'm in a different phase in life. And maybe now that's the one that I want to focus on. And that's okay too. Our lives are going to change all the time, all the time. And as long as you always have this tool in your back pocket and you always remember that you can take your power back, nothing will stop you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you always give this podcast. Share this episode with a friend, a sister, a colleague, somebody who you know needs to hear this, who needs that quick little message of empowerment. Save it for the next time you need it to. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys next time.